Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, I'm going to continue from where we left off in the last video where we were at this point in the charts on Sunday. I'll show you exactly what happened afterwards, and I'll do a further analysis of what we can expect in the next few days, as well as look at the overall longer term picture like I normally do. And in today's Wisdom Bite, I'm going to leave you with one extremely important principle that if you abided by this principle, it will actually make you more money and make you more happier and more successful than Bitcoin can ever dream of making for you. It's something that changed my life and transformed me completely over 20 years ago when I first heard this. And if that sounds interesting, then without further ado, let's get cracking. Please remember the old disclaimer that nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. Please do your wider research before making any investment decisions. And I'm going to start off with what happened on Sunday when I left off at this point here. As you know, I drew this bar on the one-day chart from a trader's perspective. So I gave you this analysis on the trader's perspective. Just as a recap, I went to the daily chart. I drew this bar here based on this point here, because this was a strong rejection point, and this point here, which was a very strong support point, and these points here that it was finding support at these levels. Once we draw this in, we go to a lower time frame for trading purposes. Then as soon as the price enters here, what we do is we take the top of the candles to the top of the wicks and draw a further bar in there, so that when the price comes back down from there, the second top here. So the rule would be that as long as the wick or the candle closes within this bar and lower, we're usually very good to go down. However, if a candle does close above it, then we wait for the second candle, the next candle, to tell us which direction we should be going. If it's a green candle, in this case it was a red candle, but if it was a green candle, we would have taken a trade up. Because it was a green candle, we've taken a trade down here. So I said that this is where a trader would come in at the bottom of this candle where it closes. So a trader would take a trade at this point here at around about the 42,000 level, and his first target would be at the bottom of this candle here, because this is where you would normally find support, and that would have given you around about a 2.5% profit here, and with leverage that's just over 20%. Before we have a look at what happened afterwards, I gave you these targets here that I'm expecting the price to be rejected at the 42,000, and if you've been watching my videos for a long while, then you'll realize that I've been having this target of 42,000, that when we come and hit that we will have a rejection at that point. And the 3 points that I gave you in the last video were these, based on the Fibonacci retracement levels. So we take it from down here up to the 42,600 level that we came up to, and I drew these lines for you for the targets. The first target was based on the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level at around about the 37,500 level, and we drew a line here. The second level was based on the 50% Fibonacci retracement at 35,900. And the third target was based on the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level at 34,300. So if we now have a look at exactly what happened in the last few days since I made that video. So we made our trader's profit here as it crossed this line. Another strategy which a lot of traders follow would be this one here. If I just zoom out, and I'll show you exactly what happens. And if you're a trader, you can tell me exactly if this is the type of strategy that you follow as well. Is that when you have a trend line like this, and it breaks like it did here, then most people would actually get into a trade at this point, at the break of this trend line. However, the traders who play safe would want confirmation at this point. This is not confirmation that it's going to break, because as we know, there are many fake outs from trend lines. So in order to prevent any fake outs from trend lines, what a normal trader who wants to play safe with very good risk management employed would wait for this point here. The reason being that when you're going into this trend like this, you're creating a low, a higher low, a higher low, and a higher low. And here we break this. So what a good trader with good risk management would do would be to wait for the price action to come back down as confirmation below this level here at 38,300. Because here you break this trend of the higher lows and you create a lower low here. So this would be the safe bet for a normal safe trader. Depending on his profit target, he would set that up accordingly. Okay, so as we can see with the targets that we set, the first target of 37,500, we've nearly met that and hit this line virtually. So we're nearly there on the first target. And I said that with a very high degree of probability, we'll come back to this level before moving on. And that this target was a little bit further, but the way this price has come down, I would ascertain that we would more than likely hit this 35,000 target as well. We'll have to wait and see, but this target is now definitely on the table at 35,900. In fact, as I'm just making this video, we've just come to hit that target right on this line here, which I'd drawn in the previous video. So we've now met the 37,500 target here, and we've just got this one now to go for. Let's wait and see what happens, whether we go to this line. Certainly, since Sunday, and the manner in which this price has come down without much resistance, it tells me that there's a very high likelihood that we're going to hit this next target here at 35,900. So we'll cover that in the next video. And always remember the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level here at 34,000. We all know that Bitcoin has a very strong affinity towards the 61.8. So this would be a fantastic buying opportunity if we do get to here. So anybody waiting to get in, waiting for an entry point, if you are somebody who's very patient, it may be rewarding for you to wait until you get here. I'm certainly not waiting. Judging by the charts, I feel there's a big move on the horizon very shortly, whether it's going to be at this level currently or at the next Fibonacci retracement level at 35,900. And certainly we can't rule out the 61.8, but wherever the actual big move is going to be, is certainly going to be anywhere around here to the upside. Okay, so that's the short-term analysis on Bitcoin of what's going to happen in the immediate next few days, possibly weeks. As you know, at Wisdom Bites, we tend to look at the longer-term picture simply because we're investors here and we want to be able to get out at the top somewhere around the $300,000 mark. And the bigger picture needs to be looked at to see exactly where we're at the moment. And the chart that we're looking at here is the stock to flow. And I've shown you this chart many times before. And as you can see, it really gives us a lot of clues as to exactly where we are in the bigger picture. So if we go back to the first cycle here, as you know, when we have an increase in the stock to flow, it tends to go sideways. And where this hits is usually at the bottom of the price level here. And then the price comes to meet it there. And then after that, we have a blow off top. And that was the end of the first cycle. The next time we had that was back here in 2016. So when the price level was around here, at around about the 500, 600 level, we had an increase to the stock to flow up there, and the price went to meet it as the stock to flow went sideways. And then after that, we had this blow off top, and that was the end of the second cycle. Well, the whole thing is now repeating itself again. So we had this, and I remember showing you this many, many months ago, around about last year, when we hit this. And I said at the time that the price, judging by what's happened in the past, should come to meet it around here. And that's exactly what's happened. Obviously, we've had a correction, which has been unprecedented because we didn't get that much of a correction in the previous two cycles when this happened. There were small corrections, but not to the extent of the one we've had here. However, if these two cycles, this one and this one, is to go by, then we're going to have a peak somewhere up here. If I move this chart a little bit behind, you can see here, there. So just like the other two cycles, more than likely, we're going to be meeting the price again. When this is going sideways, the price is going to come up here, and then we're going to have another blow off top and a correction, a big bear market following it. And our target here at Wisdom Bites has always been $300,000. And we have our exit indicators that we will be using to try and get out more or less around the top of the market. So this is where we're at the moment. Please don't get sucked into the emotion of things. We should be in the market, on the Bitcoin train, as we make our way up towards these higher levels now. Okay, so that was just a quick update on the short-term picture as well as the longer-term picture. So we've got an overall picture of exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. And I just want to finish off with just one incredibly important principle in the Wisdom Bite. And I'll obviously do a fuller video on Sunday with all the various long-term and short-term indicators. I want to leave you today with an incredible principle that I came across about 25 years ago. It's a magic phrase that can transform your life depending on your mindset, how you view things. This is the magic phrase: learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Ponder over this for a while, and you could make yourself a fortune just by this one phrase. This phrase can totally turn your life around, as it did mine. How, you may ask? Well, it's very, very simple. If you work harder on your job, then guess what? It will make you a living. But if you work harder on yourself, you can make an absolute fortune. And if you do that, your whole life can explode into a new outcome. Just to repeat this point, because it's so important, if you work hard on your job, you will make a good living. It'll pay the bills. It'll give you a holiday or two. It'll put the food on the table. However, if you work on yourself in terms of acquiring more knowledge, more skills, having more possibilities, increasing your positive mental attitude, developing your character, your personality, changing your philosophy in life, well, you can make yourself an absolute fortune. And on that note, I will leave you and say thank you very much indeed for watching. If you found value in this video, then please do remember to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. And if you want to leave any comments, questions or suggestions about the technical analysis or the Wisdom Bite, please let me know if there are any phrases that have actually changed your life for the better. Share it with the Wisdom Bite community here, and we can all benefit from it. So leave your comments and questions in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.